The first couple of weeks of waterfowl season in Canada are a time of hope and excitement. Early in the season, the birds haven't felt the pressure yet. You can get away with a little more decoy spreads and blind placements. Everything seems to click.
Come on, front.
Good shot, somebody. That was deadly.
But as the season moves on, things start to change. The birds get smarter, more cautious. Waterfowl guides know this all too well. With each passing day, they adjust, changing blind placements, fine-tuning decoy spreads, adapting to the new behavior of the birds. The clients come in with high expectations, always hoping for a limit of ducks and geese with every sit. But as anyone who's hunted knows, it's not always that simple. Hunting is a game of patience, strategy, and timing. It's about doing everything right, even when the odds aren't in your favor. The ups and downs of the season remind us that no matter how much you prepare, nature always has the final say.
I'm Ryan Stahl, not Brian. You're gonna edit that one on, aren't you? I've been coming up to Canada for roughly 20 years, the last 13 or so. I've been working with GooseHaven, coming up to this area specific. Kind of a lot of things that I've seen change is just even with the crops and what's coming in and what's going out. You have it used to be a lot of peas. It used to be when early kind of the season, you had more or less ducks that were more simpler, easier to hunt than there was geese, and now it's kind of turned the table where there's harder in the ducks. The last few years is just the first week or two of ducks been getting difficult. I don't know if it's the hatch, if it's just the way the breeding the breeding population is, or just the landscape change in general. Water areas, just this year is a real dry year. Some of the water places are bone dry, so I think that's not holding a lot of ducks either. Bigger lakes are holding some, but for the most part, it's kind of switching to where it's more goose than duck. And if you talk to the farmers from 30, 40 years ago, they said it was almost all ducks and no geese. So there's definitely a change in the landscape, and could be farming practices, could be weather, could be hatches, could be just the landscape in general. Answer that never know, I guess, but party plans there.
Scouting doesn't stop when the season starts. It continues all the way through. The guides at GooseHaven take advantage of every opportunity they get to scout, always looking for ways to stay one step ahead.
All right, I'll be back, hopefully. Yeah, we can set up here. I'm only gonna do like one spinner and 3 or 4 floaters. We got a southwest, so hopefully we can cuddle up in here. Boom, in our face over the pond.
The AVES Drifter Jacket will be a crucial component of your waterfowl clothing system. Constructed with Toray's Elite 4-way stretch fabric, double-stitched Kevlar fabric over the high wear areas, zippered armpit vents, Kudo's durable water-repellent finish. Equipped with 7 purposely built pockets. Experience the difference of AVES Drifter Series waterfowl gear.
I thought today had some good and some bad. It was a tough hunt because it started out at about 84 degrees. The birds this morning, they didn't want to feed right away. They went into water, so we took a chance and went in the water first, and hopefully we're going to get some birds that were leaving early, flying around, pond hopping, and then hitting the fields. I think we did, for the most part, we've seen some birds. We kind of stuck out a little bit, I think. Just trying to make things work early in the season. We're gonna walk through some like 5-foot tall weeds to get in there, 6-foot tall weeds, but the ground is dry, solid. Once we get situated and everything in there, we'll be all right. All right, you good? All right, let's just, like your guys' guns and everything are in the back of the trailer, or the back of the truck. You wanna pull those out. You got shoes, okay. I got chairs. I'll just kind of stack everything here. We got probably 1, 2, 3, 4 helpers. So we're just gonna make a couple trips, pack down a trail here for them. And that way
Yep.
Make your shots good. Like, I'll call it when it's like right above the spinner or so. And then that way when you shoot, they're gonna start backpedaling to get up, and that's when it starts to get easy shooting. We're in a straight line. Everything should be pretty straightforward, shooting out in front of you. If some come out over your head, you wanna swing over to the right, go ahead. If it's like right on top, but once it starts getting a little farther, just let it go. Big deal. Same thing over here. We don't need to drop it in all that thick stuff, because then we spend time looking for that stuff and everything. So they seem to be kind of reckless when they're coming in here so far. So hopefully that's the case, and we'll get our numbers and call it a good hunt. Ducks in the air, high right. Okay, coming around the left. All right, I'm gonna move back a little just to get out of the way. Oh. Or on top. Single on the front right, 2 o'clock. Kill him. Boost. Dog's out. Coming down on the front right, 1 o'clock.
Load up and go eat fish.
All right, because I don't think this is gonna pan out too well. So, somebody want to go get those decoys for me?
I got them.
You got to remind them it's hunting. It's Canada, but you still have to do everything right. You have to be where the birds are. You have to hide from the birds, and you still got to do everything right. And the big thing with Canada is you hope your opportunities are there. You know, in the States, you really don't get 15, 20 opportunities, 25 opportunities on getting up and shooting at birds. Here you can if you do everything right. If you don't do everything right, you're just as done as the rest of them. And you're lucky if you can get 5 opportunities. I mean, it's Mother Nature. Trying to beat Mother Nature, and most of the time she wins.
Going on later in the season, I like to use a lot bigger decoy spread. Early in the season, I may not use my full set. You know, I've got probably 8 dozen decoys in my trailer. The first couple days, or maybe even the first week, I may only use 4 or 5 dozen. I don't want to show them all my tricks right out of the gate, so I keep it pretty simple right out, you know, beginning, and then later on I'll add those extra pieces in as need be. But usually I'll try to milk the more simple setup as long as I can, and then once I realize, okay, this isn't really cutting it anymore, that's when we start integrating those new little things in there.
Okay, got a single on the right coming in from the right.
So you think those just went into the river?
Yeah, they must have, because there's nothing over there for crop. Okay, get ready, guys. Take them in front. Boy, those things whip in fast. All right, everybody get ready. Let him land. Kill him in front. His legs were hanging. Oh, we got ducks that are flying everywhere now. Ready here on the right. Kill him overhead! Anything fall? All right. We don't have a lot of wind today, so what I did is I took the blinds facing kind of northeast, and I took a line of decoys and kind of stretched them straight out in front of the blind. And then I took 2 little fingers and put off to the right and the left with a pocket on each side of that line. We're kind of up against a bush line, so duck coming right in. Get ready. Kill that duck. Kill him. Kill him. There you go. Boy, they come in fast. The birds aren't going to probably work behind us because we're close enough to that bush line. Everything should be in front. So what that line does is it catches them from sliding out, and it should bring them back into those 2 little pockets. With no wind, they might come in from the right, they might come in from the left, or whatever. So that's kind of how I set up. I did 5 dozen decoys this morning. Kill him in front. Nice job. I'm gonna run out and grab these ducks quick. If you want to grab these ones right behind the blind here and then set them behind Scott, just lay them out. I'm gonna grab this one that's Come in front! Nice job, guys. Good shooting. Yeah. those 2 geese. Okay. Get that 1 duck. Nice, Scotty. All right, I'm gonna run and grab those 2 geese quick.
One of the big things with opener, and probably the week following, a lot of the birds are uneducated, so they're not as difficult to hunt as they would be later in the season. So I like that because usually opening day you've got, you know, knock some rust off, you got some things that aren't perfect, you know, you're kind of trying to get in your groove. The birds usually give you a lot of forgiveness with some of those imperfections. So that's something that I really enjoy. Kind of helps you get into the groove for the later in the season when things get a little more difficult. But the other thing is, especially up here, is we have a lot of birds that migrate at the end of August. So we've got a lot of birds around. We may not have as many fields that are cut at that time, but we've got a lot of birds around. So you have so many more opportunities in those first couple weeks because you just got a lot more birds to work with.
Getting jiggy with it? Yeah. All right. All right. So my name's Cale Lajeunesse, waterfowl guide here at GooseHaven. From Meadow Lake, Saskatchewan, local boy. So that early season is, like I talked about the dance, right? It's you don't have to get after them as much as you'd like to or get excited to, and you just don't want to educate birds, right? Anything that comes in you want to kill. You don't want to be shooting at birds and having them chase away, and they're going to be here for a while, right? Before they head south. So obviously any peak in weather, you know, from full moon to a north wind, to big drastic weather changes, you're gonna have birds move out. I'm a Canadian citizen and they're called Canada geese. So I like Canada geese. No, I do, I enjoy shooting ducks, obviously, but for me, there's nothing better than, you know what I mean? Big old grader with his feet down, cupped up and coming down the pipe, right? And so for me, I love Canada geese. I love the conversation with them back and forth. All the details are finicky, so all the boxes have to be checked, right? They'll smell you a mile away. So that goes with wind conditions, sun, shadows, talking to them on a call, the dance of it all, right? It's a really big dance with Canada geese, and I love that dance, right? The back and forth. So for me, I love Canada geese and the grind of them. So yeah.
That's the plan of this. Like we kind of went with the J. Ideally, we want those geese coming down our faces, right, and locked up and in. But for us, this is what we got to do today with the conditions we got. We got that wind and the sun. So yeah, basically, I got the J coming where we're swinging around. They're gonna come across. In theory, obviously it's theory. They're gonna do kind of one big circle, and then they're gonna lock up and they're gonna pop in here. So I got the J swinging around the top. Got my front line here, majority feeders. And then I got my heavy feed group in the corner here. But we got a good wind right now. The field was loaded last night. There's a bunch of goose shit in the field, so I bagged the field. So hopefully it goes good for the boys and we can get in and get out and then use this field in, you know what I mean, a week or so. So that's the plan.
Poor boy from the backwoods, thought I never would find my way. Sweet girl, straight from downtown, where I was just another face. They said that we should steer clear of each other. Matches and gasoline, nothing but trouble. Said we'd never make it, but you ain't seen nothing yet. We're just getting started.
Kill them up front.
We're just getting started. Southbound for the border. one knows our names, but I know when I hold you, I'ma love you till the grave. We're just getting started.
So is it also true that smoking cigarettes like helps you in that?
It does, yeah. And I've read a few case studies on it, and I crush cigarettes, crush them. So for me, it's not for everyone, you know. It's a serious game, like I said. Either you're in or you're in the way, and I'd like to thank my sponsors, Export A Smooth Regular Cigarettes, and for getting me down the road. So yeah.
With the first 2 weeks of waterfowl season behind us, the grind is about to begin. The birds have been unpressured and the hunts have been smooth, but that's about to change. As the season progresses, the birds grow smarter and the challenge intensifies. The guides will need to rely more on their calls, decoy spreads, and every little adjustment to stay one step ahead.